think, okay, I think okay, am I audible? Hello. Hello, everyone. Hello. How's it going? How's it going? I think one of the things that I did with my setting mic is that it's very, very... Okay, anyways, I hope you guys can hear me. And today there is no issues with the noise. Things like that. Hopefully. Welcome back to another stream. After a very long time, after a very long time. And mainly I have not been getting time for streaming, and that's basically just a little bit lazy with life, that's all. So what are we doing today? We are trying to build a simple called Shortener as if there is no AI. So we are going to Google stuff. We're going to handwrite every piece of code. Of course, auto-completion comes with part of the ID. Sometimes I'm going to use Vim, sometimes I'm going to use JetBrains IDs, but yeah, whatever it is, the audio can be better. Okay, we can try. We can try for better audio. Just 1 second. Is it better now? Is it better now? Can you define how better? What exactly is the issue? Can you define? Can you just say? Can you say how it can be better? Am I audible now? I think it's yeah, my audio is saying I'm on. There's disturbance in the audio. Now the video is gone. That is fine. Just can you talk about the audio right now? There's still disturbance in the audio? Yeah, okay. Now? Let me also turn on the hello. Let me stop the music for some time. Hello. Hello. Yeah. Is it still just text? Yeah, is the audio better now? The music and video is something we don't have to worry about right now. I just need to know if I'm just trying to tune the the audio for now. Can you just talk about that? Okay. So now is it good? Better? Okay. Yeah. Is it better now? There's no echo. It's crisp, and yeah, there's two things. It's a little better. Okay. Now how's it now? Hello, how are you? Sorry, folks, I'm just trying to tune the audio right now. Be back in some the same. I have no idea. It's the audio meter says it's all good. Let me clear it actually. I think it's better. It's okay on my phone, so I'm just gonna continue. Okay. Cool. We should be back now. Should be back now. Okay. Let's put on the music. I hope the music is not blasting in your ears, by the way. Cool. Okay. So what are we doing today? I forgot to. Okay. So what are we doing today? We are creating a URL shortener, and we are gonna create everything by hand. No AI, nothing. We're gonna Google stuff when we don't know. We're gonna Google. We're gonna go to the documentation, read the documentation, and we're gonna try to do the stream for 2 hours. So it's like 15 minutes to 9 right now. So maybe around 10:30 to 11 o'clock, we'll stop the stream and see how far we can progress, and then next day we'll continue with. Okay. So that's the entire idea. The stack that we are using right now is Python, React for backend, for frontend, Python for frontend. We are going to use FastAPI, and I still haven't figured out if we're going to use any kind of I don't think so. We need any kind of a backend. SQL ORM. I think it's called SQL Alchemy in Python. I don't think so. We need that. And for the database, we are going to use the all-time favorite of mine, and I use it everywhere, Postgres. That's basically the stack for today. Okay, and I hope the audio is a lot better right now. At least on my phone it seems a lot better. Cool. Okay, so now I think I can put down the audio a little bit so that it doesn't burst your ears. Hello. Okay, yeah, I think now it's better. Okay, so what are we going to do today? Yeah, what are we going to do? We're going to start with the project. We're going to start with everything. So here is what my plan is. Okay, so we can quickly go over the plan of how we're going to do this. Okay, so this is how we're going to do. It's going to be a very, very simple application which says this is the UI, and this basically takes you back to a backend. And this takes you back to a database, which is Postgres database, right? So this is a very simple architecture that we're going to work with, a 3-tier architecture in web, which is a very famous architecture. We can go with that. And how we're going to do here is that, most importantly, so we are going to go with so like I said, this is going to be very, very simple. It's going to be very, very simple. And in here, you have the UI, which is going to be React, TypeScript, and most likely for styling, I'm just going to use shadcn. I remember there was some discussions about shadcn before Theo's videos I saw, but I just saw the title and I never really looked into the video. So yeah, I don't know if any license change or anything like that happened. If something like that happened to shadcn and it's not open source anymore or something like that was happening, I'm just going to do a fallback to some other design component. That's all. On the back end, we're going to have Python. We're going to work with FastAPI. And here on the database side, this is going to be a Postgres. Okay. So one of the things we're going to do is that what should be the strategy of shortening, right? So if you're not aware of how a URL shortener works, it's basically like I can say HTTP google.com/something. So usually google.com won't be having a short URL, but then a more targeted URL will be having a shorter one, right? So as an example, this is where you're saying, okay, google.com, and then there's a bunch of things. So as an example, if I just go to google.com here, and if I search how to create a JWT token using so let's say JWT token library in Perl. If I just say that, okay, so this is one of the things. I mean, if you look at the URL right now, this here is a more specific URL which actually searches. So why is it not giving me the URL? So let's just forget it. So if you look at this, right, metacpan.org is not going to be up for a shortening, but most likely what you're going to do is you're going to shorten for this one, right? So more targeted URLs, right? So so this guy is going to be shortened to something like whatever our application is. We are going to snip snip.com/something, some random garbage, right? Well, it's not really garbage, but yeah, for the human eye, it's kind of garbage, right? So let's say ABC for now. Well, it's still not random for us, but just to understand that there's a randomness in this, right? We take this particular thing and we say that, okay, if somebody actually comes and visit this website, because we generated a URL against the big one, if somebody comes to this URL, you ask the browser that redirect to this URL, right? So we can do two things about this redirect, right? So usually HTTP redirect status codes. Right. So this is the two status codes that you have when you're redirecting. One is a 301, which is moved permanently. One is a permanent redirect. 308. Okay, yeah, this is not what I meant. 302. Okay. 302 is found. It's a temporary redirect. Now, what is the difference between a 301 and a 302? So usually we are, this might be a new one. It's permanent redirect and says something. But yeah, usually 301 and 302 is good enough for us, right? So what does it mean? I can either send a 301, I can send a 302. 301 is a permanent redirect, which tells the browser that, hey, this URL is always cached. Okay, so if I go to this URL, it's going to come to my server. It's going to come to my server, and then it's going to say, hey, redirect to this. But if it's a 301, it's only going to come once because it's a permanent redirect. So the browser caches the target URL and says, whenever I'm going to kind of look up this, get this URL, I'm just going to redirect to here. This causes one simple problem. It's good for performance because it doesn't come to our server anymore. So we are not relying, we don't have to have those round trips. It's good, but the only problem is we are losing traffic to our server. So we cannot do any kind of statistics, which we actually want to do in our case. Okay. So what happens here is that you can, you can send a 302. A 302 is a temporary redirect in which the browser is not caching the target URLs, which means that every time you get this, it's going to come to a server. Okay, so we're going to do a couple of things here. My handwriting has gotten worse over time, so bear with it. We're going to do a couple of things in here. We're going to do a Google login. So you can create a profile where you can then create short URLs. One of the things we want is just to figure out if we want to support duplicates. What does it mean? So if I give you an URL, it should be facebook.com/user/something, and the URL, if I nice bro, keep it up, submit the URL. Thank you. Welcome to the stream. Thank you. Welcome to the stream. One of the things you have to think about is that once you have a URL, if I give you an URL, so as an example, if I give you this URL multiple times, is it going to create a new short URL? Or is it going to look up and it's going to send you back the same URL? Well, there are two use cases to this. One of them is where we can say, okay, this is a valid use case where we create multiple URLs over time, short URLs over time. So multiple short URLs can point to the same target URL, or we can say that, okay, we don't want duplicates. Okay, so one of the things I want to do is don't want duplicates. Sorry, I don't want to have duplicates. So that's one thing. So we have to do some validation check that if the target URL is present, do not create. But it is also gonna be only available for a profile. So if you create a second profile and you create the same URL, you're gonna create a new one. So the uniqueness is just within the same profile and not across profiles. Okay, that's one. So unique across profiles. Okay. The other thing is we also want some kind of statistics or analytics. So we want to sort of analytics to say that how many times this URL has been visited. This is the reason why I'm not doing any duplicates. So I have to aggregate stuff. So the user can have a dashboard saying, okay, these are the URLs I have tried to shorten, and this is the number of visits that I have for this certain pages. And that's something that we have to call. Okay. So this is the entirety of the project that I'm thinking about. We're going to do a very, very simple thing. Like I said, it's 3-tier web architecture. You have an UI, you have a backend, you have a database. There's no caching. There's nothing like that. It's a learning project, so it really doesn't need so many moving parts right now. Okay. I think even this particular thing might take 1 or 2 days to actually complete, specifically with the UI. I'm shit with UI, so it's going to take some time to do the UI stuff. Okay. So this is what the project is about. Any questions till now from anyone? And I think also URL shortener is a very, very, I don't know if people are asking that now, but URL shortener is a very well-known system design problem when it comes to scale. So this is definitely not built for scale, but system design problem has unique problems within. It's a very simple architecture, but has unique problems through which you can, go down a lot of different rabbit holes. So yeah. Okay. Now the important question here is that what is going to be the strategy and the length of this, right? So there are a couple of different ways to do it. So the very first thing is why the count of your slug, usually it's called a slug, why does it matter? Because that's going to tell you how much of short URLs you can actually support, right? So as an example, I said A, B, C, which means it has 3 places, right? So first thing is the length. The second thing is, how do I call this? The character set? Yeah, I guess character set is a, I'm really sorry for my handwriting. It just, I cannot. Yeah, okay. Character set. So why does it matter? Because in here I use ABC. What if in the actual application I'm also using ABC and I'm using small letter English alphabets only, right? So it's 26. For every position, I have 26 different options. So 26 here, 26 here, 26 here. I hope it makes sense. It's a very simple combination permutation, right? So for each individual space, each individual slot, you have 26 different options to work with no other constraints that, it cannot be duplicated and all of that. It's very simple, 26, 26, 26, which means 26 to the power 3. And yeah, this is the only number. I hope it's, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I hope this is really blasting on my face right now, but I hope it's actually visible to on the screen if you're watching on phone. So this is the number of things that we can support. So if you have 3 length, and if your character set is small English alphabet letters, the only things you're supporting here is 26 into 3, 26 to the power 3, which is 17,500 near about URLs that you can support in your entirety of the application, by the way. Well, we can still argue that it's again like across profiles, but the problem is that is not true. If you're taking a single database and your slug is one of the indexes, it has to be unique, which means your uniqueness has to be uniqueness of the slug has to be throughout the application and not just across profile. Like I said here, it's unique across profiles, but that is for the target URL, not for the slug. Okay, so this is across the slug that you have to do. Okay, and you would definitely want to put an index for faster lookups. One of the things is that we are still working with a string-based index and not an integer-based index, a number-based index, which gives faster lookups. Maybe one day I want to explore why and how it works internally, but this is just something that I know, that string-based indexes are much more slower than number-based indexes. So yeah, maybe something that is, anyways. So to increase a number, we have to kind of increase this also. So what if we take in 5, right? So if we take in 5, it's just gonna extrapolate like that. This is what 11 million. So this is 11 million, which I think is a good number across your entire application. 11 million, but for a production application, it might not be that sufficient, right? So one of the things we can do is, again, increase the character set. So let's do this thing. So because URLs have to be safe, URL safety and all of that. So even with base 64, you have 2 versions. One you have URL, one you have URL safe. I think plus and equals get replaced by dot, something like that. One of the things we can do simply is say A to Z. So now you have 26 plus 26, 52 character set combinations in your entirety of the slug. And we are doing so what is this number? This is 1000, this is million, so you come up to 380 million almost. So that I feel is a good enough number for our application. In general, in production, depending on the number of items that you want to support, you might want to go up. If it's in trillions, I guess at the top of the head, I think you can include numbers also, 0 to 9, which is 10. So it becomes 66. And 5 to 7 is a sweet spot number. We can actually look at 66, 5. So this is 1000, this is million, this is trillion. So this is 1.2 trillion. And if you go up here, this is 8.2 trillion. Sorry. It's out of my brain to go through it. This is 1000, this is million, this is billion. 5.4 trillion? No. Am I doing that wrong? In English. It's 82 billion, not 8.2 billion, it's 82 billion. So, this is 540. Oh, okay. This is 5.4 trillion. Yeah. This is 5.4 trillion. This is not billion. This was 1000 million. Where did I do wrong? This is 1000. Makes sense. Then 950 is million. Of course, it's billion. I'm still an idiot. Sorry, it's still billion. It's not trillion, right? Yes. Till here is billion, so 82. And when you go above that number, it's 545 billion. Dude, can you just yeah, whatever. Big numbers are out of my head. Sometimes I just don't get that. Cool. Okay. Okay, cool. So what we are gonna do, we're gonna come up with numbers here. So one is gonna be a Google login. Okay, second is gonna be slug size is gonna be Uh, so let's actually do a mix of A to Z and 0 to 9, and we can keep length is fine. So this is gonna be the character set, which means that I'm gonna have to wait. My calculations were wrong. It's 52 plus 10, which is 62, not 66. So this is gonna be this. Yeah, so 916 million, I think is a good number. If you go to 6 in here, this goes up. Yeah, this is most likely 56 billion, but I think we should be good with it. We should be good with it, right? With 916 million, we should be good. So we can just quickly check that I'm not making any mistake in here. In number, in 960 million, 16 million. So we should be good here. We should be good here. And this is what we're going to do. This is what we are going to do. Okay. So this is this. Part 3 is target is unique across profile. And part 4 is, I think, analytics. Analytics. So basically the count of times that you can do, we can do something more cool analytics. Maybe if we try to figure out where the request is coming from and create a world map, things like that. But it's not right now. If I want to, maybe it's something cool to learn, how to render your world graph and all. Not sure. Okay, cool. So we can actually go forward and start. So how do we structure the project? We are going to keep everything in a single repository. We already created the project, like the basic structure here. We can create that. So let's think about it quickly. For the database, I suppose the very first thing I want to do is, but do I have? I don't have, I suppose. Okay. So let's look for Postgres. Why can't you? $18 may be something that we look for. I didn't want that. Hold on. We can go with this Docker Compose admin. I don't know what admin is. What is admin? Admin is a lightweight single file database management tool within PHP that supports Postgres along with other systems like MySQL. It's often used as a faster, more minimalistic approach than PG admin. Oh, okay. So I guess it's some sort of a web UI for managing. We are not going to do that. We don't need that stuff. So here you can simply say Docker Compose. You can already understand that I have forgot typing. Anyways, I was never good at typing also, so it's not something. I think the first thing I want to have is a version, and I guess it's 3.1. I don't remember. We'll see. We will see. Then you say services, database, and here we can simply say snipdb. snipdb image is Postgres, but I also want 18. How do we do that? At the rate, right? Again, we'll see. I don't remember all this. Restart always. Sorry. SHM size is 128 MB, not GB. Sorry. volumes. We need this. I'm gonna do that later on. So environment. Environment. Post. I think we have to do this right now. Postgres user is Postgres. Postgres password is password. We're gonna keep things simple. Okay. We don't have a volume till now. I think for how to do volumes, we can simply look up evenly, I suppose. One of my older projects on how to do that. That should be it. Do we have any? We have a stack YAML, and that should be it. Awesome. And look at that, I already made a mistake in here. So okay. Container name is something that we have to give. So again, this is gonna be the service name, so I can simply say this. Container name is gonna be snipdb. Restart. Yeah, we forgot ports. Ports is gonna be, I think it's 8432. 5432. Yeah, this is gonna be equals and just create that. Okay, and you need volumes. So yeah. Centra DB. So I guess that's a volume name. You can simply say snipdb, which goes to where lib PostgreSQL data, and this is for an init SQL, which I'm just gonna ignore for now, honestly. Yeah. Volumes is gonna be snip db, and this is gonna be this. Okay. I hope Docker is running. Okay. Yeah. What kind of containers this is? PyTest. Why is this running inside? What? Hey, I also wanted to build a URL shortener, but I have less idea about system design. To build a URL shortener, you don't need a system design, to be honest. Like I said, we are not going anything deep. And where is my diagram? Also, why is Firefox acting weird and not caching stuff? I think I have to go back to Chrome. I'm sorry. It's just stupid. I have a UI, I have a backend, I have a database. That's the entire plan I have, because it's a learning project. Tomorrow, if I have to deploy it and people actually use it, I have to bring in a Redis for cache. I have to think in terms of actually putting in a strategy for creating this class and all that. That's one thing. So just to start learning, I don't think so you need a hell lot of depth in system design. Second part is, this is a system, I designed it. It's a system design. You have to define the scope of what you really want to achieve in a design. Anything is a system design. I'm not building this for scale, I'm building this for fun and trying to figure out how to type again, because it's been long that I've typed and it's been long that I've handwritten something. So as you can see already, my handwriting using my tab, right? It's stupid because I cannot write anymore. I cannot type anymore, I feel, because it's all AI. So I just wanted to bring that fun back in life a little bit. Okay, but coming to the point of, also, if you want to know how an URL is designed at scale, URL shortener system design. Look at that. There's Google. There is Google. And if you go to videos, don't go to short videos, it's stupid. Oh, look at that. I think his name is Pradeep. I forgot his name. Anyways, Neat could already bid this. Design. I think a lot of people actually follow this guy. I don't know his name. Sorry, but I know his face. Narendra. Yeah, I mean, there are so many resources. And to learn something, you don't have to think so much in depth about how to design the system and all that. Just start doing it. You're not building for 1 million customers, I'm pretty sure. You're not even building for 100 customers. So just do it. That would be my suggestion. Cool. Okay. Coming back, that's a very weird stuff behind the scenes, so maybe, yeah, okay, so this is a little better. Okay, cool. So what are we doing next? I quickly wanted to thanks for answering, no problem. I hope it's helpful. Don't think much. Solve the problem and solve the problem for yourself, and then you can think how to solve the problem for 100 more users. What is the problem that you like? What is a bottleneck for 100 users? Once you figure that out and you fix it, what is a bottleneck for 1,000 users? What's a bottleneck for 1 million users? You can extrapolate. And if you don't know anything, there's this beautiful thing called Cloud AI. There's this beautiful thing called ChatGPT, and of course the old resources of Stack Overflow, Google and stuff like that. Okay, I think it was Docker Compose. I think now they have Compose. Yeah, they have Compose within it. So, but you still need, I think, a different tool, Docker Compose, to be, installed, which I have. So I quickly want to see how you do that. Okay, so you can do this kind of thing. So compose configuration files. You can give it files now. Okay. Attach, build, commit. Okay, maybe not today. I'm just gonna do Docker Compose. File is Docker Compose. If you don't mind, can you suggest me the path how I should proceed through that? Just search how to build a URL shortener, and you can build it. I mean, I'm doing a stream right now and going through a process of learning it myself. After almost 11 years of experience, I'm doing it. But yeah, depending on my stream content is pretty irregular, so I don't know if I'll finish it. If I don't know, I'll continue it. So I cannot say that, okay, wait for it. That would be the stupidest thing to say. So if you really want to learn, just Google, go to YouTube, look at 5 different bunch of things. Everyone will have a different approach, and just start doing it, I would say. That's all. That's pretty much all. Or you can go the other way around also. You sit down and you first think what you need. You come up with a solution. You feed it to ChatGPT and see that working in ITM, working at LTM. I don't know what LTM is. Very confused. What should I do? Yeah, I think it's a very vast, open-ended question, honestly. If you're looking for a better job, I would say just start grinding lead code and start following people who give very job-specific suggestions on how to crack it. I might not be the great person to do it because I tend to move towards from a job-oriented preparation to a more learning-oriented preparation. So I might not be the best person to answer that. My only thing would be that first figure out what you want to do, where you exactly want to land, and what is the roadmap. ChatGPT, go to YouTube and find a couple of videos. And this is a more generic answer. But the same workflow starts with your URL shortener also, I would say. And I think there's also a really good resource called systemdesign.io or something. Wait, this? I think this. Oh, wait, did I just randomly... Is this paid? I don't think so, it's paid. Okay, maybe this is a good resource, but I was not thinking of this one. I was not thinking of this one. System design building website. I don't know what to search. I found a really nice website. This is the one, I think. Yep, this is the one. But I think this is a paid version, but it's really worth it. I'm learning. Yeah, that is also another part. LangChain and LangGraph, yeah. That's also another part. Yep. I mean, nowadays, I guess it's more relevant to go into AI. That's another thing I would say. It's another thing I would say. Cool. So let's run this. Eh? What? Ooh, because I had a fresh installation. Okay, I had a fresh installation. Docker compose examples. Give me the command. Not that, I want the command. Wants to work for US or UK start, especially fintech. That's a very specific thing. So yeah, I'm not the right person to answer in that way. I guess you have to try to find some person who works in that certain profile in LinkedIn. Try and connect with them and see if they comes back with an answer saying, okay, yeah, comes back with an answer saying if they can help you out. Some people sometimes I know don't respond, but yeah. Oh shit, it's just that. Holy shit, it's just that. Okay, cool. It's exactly like Docker. So I guess no, I don't have to install. Yeah. So I guess you can just try and reach out some people on LinkedIn and see if they can help you out with that. Sitting in India and working for US UK startups, work from home, I'm guessing, or remote jobs. I don't know how relevant those are nowadays, if they are even coming up. But I'm pretty sure there will be. So you can try. Cool. Going back into this thing. So we did something weird. Snip TP. What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? Docker images are configured to be formatted in PGCTL cluster specifically using media specific. Okay, this appears to be a data in this. This usually result of downgrading. I think I know what is happening, and maybe one of the things I can do here is just simply because I know 17 words. Yeah, cool. Okay, so that also removes the volume right away. So one of the things I quickly want to do is make file up Docker compose Docker. Can you fucking type detached? Well, up then detached. And for down, we have Docker compose down, and Docker compose YAML -v. But I think one of the things we have to do here is we also have to define this phony. So phony is basically up, down. I also forgot phony target. Phony target samples. Okay, that's good. I don't know if you guys can actually see my Firefox, but I suppose it's okay. By the way, if anybody's watching me live right now and you can type, a quick question: is the audio better now? It's crisp, you can hear me, there is no background noise, there's no echo. Anybody would be very helpful. So so one of the things we do here is that everything is good. Oh, cool, awesome, thank you. 17. What was the version that we are using in 17.4 is what we're using here. So let's use that. 8 up. Makes sense. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so now we have to come up with the idea of the data model. How do we do it? So here's what I'm thinking. For profiles, you can have a profile which has these kind of informations. Okay. Which has these kind of information like what kind of information? So for now, I'm just gonna say name. So since we're only gonna support Google login, it doesn't make sense to say that okay, you have different kinds of login, but maybe we actually do you build one project daily? No, bro. I have a job. I cannot build a project daily. I don't think so. No one can unless you're dedicatedly doing this full time. It's very difficult to create a project daily. I rarely come online. Like previously, I was regular, but now I rarely come online. I also work in FastAPI. Cool. What else do we need? Let's actually try and find out what does the Google API provides us with. Google Auth APIs. Can I get the info here? Okay. Sorry for flashbacking. Authenticated instructions. Okay. Auth contacts. No, this is not what I'm looking at. Yeah, how do you recurse the token? I need to know that. I need the API. Can you just give me? Can you? One thing we can do is we can look at this particular code, because I remember we did a similar thing in here. So we have a Google Auth controller. Yeah, this is exactly what I need, I suppose. So this thing is gonna be triggered by the UI, and then you try and initiate. Oh, okay, yeah. So this is what is gonna be initiated by the UI. It's too loud for me. Okay, so this is gonna be initiated by the UI. You create a nonce, you create a state. Oh, yeah. So you create a nonce, using that you create a state. Makes sense. And oh, look at the abstraction that I did. Holy shit! The state token service. Okay. There's an auth service. Where is the service coming from? Holy shit. Okay, so I have some sort of generalization. I'm guessing it has to be in configuration. Security, okay, so it's most likely security. So there's a token service, which is generic, which just tries to create a token. That kind of is a good thing, I think. But I don't know if you want to create this sort of an abstraction in Python. Okay, but let's see how we do that. So you have states token service. What does it do? There are a couple of algorithms that you have. Okay, and try and take out the. Okay, so these are algorithms that you have on the HMAC. Okay, so you have an HMAC which signs and verifies each token. Do we really want to go this deep? Holy shit. Maybe we should. FastAPI Triangle. Is it Triangle? I think it's Triangle. Let's see. Triangle. Okay. So it has support. It has support. So why am I handwriting it? So you can use Auth source directly with FastAPI. They're integrated. I don't want to create a server, by the way. I want to just create a client. Let me be more specific. Yeah. Client credential is not something that we're looking for. Wait, this is client credential, right? Yeah, okay. So do I have to create a middleware and register this? If you're using Python, then try this. Yeah, the idea was not to use an external library. Using an external library is what's the big deal? Okay, security, you're requesting this. This is what I don't want. I don't want passwords and all that. So you have this. Okay. So this is a different kind of an Auth. And it's not. How is it Auth? Do I understand this correctly? They are simply doing a user login. They are storing the user information. They're storing the user information. Yeah. So you have argon 2b or 2a hashing to just hash it. This is not over. How is this over? Well, technically, I think we are right because we are using the concept of what's wrong. What we are trying to do is OIDC. Fuck yeah. Google OIDC example. Yes, this is what we are trying to do actually. हाँ ये सब हो गया है, ये सब हो गया है. Okay. This is what I want. Yes, okay. This is what I exactly want, this documentation. So make sure you set up in the app to enable these protocols and authenticate your users. When a user tries to sign in with Google, you need to try to create an anti-forgery state token. This is what we're going to do. Send an authentication request to Google, confirm the token, exchange the code, get an access token and an ID token. I can do a couple of different things with the ID token. You must protect the security of users by preventing requests for attacks, blah 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 blah. Okay, so you can do something like this. Status hash lib, okay. But how do you verify it? Because it's a hash. How do you verify it back? Create a stored token to store it in session for later validation. Okay, that makes sense. So store it in the session. What I was doing is I was actually signing it and not generating something which can validate later on. I was just trying to validate the sign. Okay, I'm gonna make a quick break for 5 minutes and then I'm gonna come back. Next step is to form an HTTPS GET call with the appropriate keyword parameters. Note that is okay. So this is the authorization endpoint, right? So you first make a call to this, you initiate the flow, you provide the client ID, the response type. The response type should be a code because you're asking for a code now. Scope should be OpenID and email for this thing. Redirect URI should be HTTP endpoint that will respond. The value should be exactly match. Okay, makes sense. You also give the state, you give it a nonce. Login hint can be the user's email address and sub, blah blah blah. Maybe this is something that we might not need. So this is what we want. That's basically it. So you have the client ID, you have the scope, you have the redirect URI. Have you worked on Rust? No. Nope. Scope is this, redirect is this, state is okay, a security token 3D. What is 3D? What is this? Sequence, okay. Login hint. Okay. The response is sent to the this thing. All the response are returned in the query string. Okay. So you give me back the code, you give me back the scope, and you give me back a bunch of other things. User info. Client must ignore unrecognized response parameters on the server. You must confirm the state received from the Google Maps state token. This round-trip verification helps to verify that the user, not a malicious script, is making the request. Request our state or in session. So can this guy okay, so I think we have got a really good this thing here. I'm gonna put it in the references, I suppose. Google OIDC flow, I would say, yeah. So I was searching specifically for Auth, and that was giving me all kind of actual Auth flow. So yeah, if you guys are not aware of what's the difference between Auth and OIDC, the lines are pretty bleak, I suppose, but Auth versus OIDC on stuff. I don't know. I don't remember. Oh, okay. Okta. Okay. Well, I mean, the pioneers of this entire thing, right? So this is a really, really good video which talks about how Auth works and what is OpenID, what is OIDC, and what's the difference. People try to always kind of mix the two. It's not really, but the lines are pretty clean. So, but yeah. Cool. I'll just take a quick 5 minutes break. I've been sitting for almost 45 minutes an hour. So I'll just quickly take a 5 minutes break. I'll refill my water and I'll see you back. So once we are back, we're gonna start up. It's already 9:43. I still have, I think, an hour to stream. I'm gonna start up with a very simple thing where we try and work at least a single API. All right. So that's the idea. I'll be back quick. Okay, I'm gonna put down the music. I was just hearing over my phone and I feel it's way too high. Okay. I hope now the voice is better. Okay. Okay. Let me also increase the gain a little bit. Cool. Let's go. Yeah. So this is not what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. I actually copied the wrong stuff. Okay. 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 Yeah, so you make an interesting and all that. Okay, so I think let's get started. So for this, right? What do you have to install? Buddy? So the question here is, how do we create a project? So I'm simply gonna just do backend. Okay. Okay. Backend for your Shortener Snip. This here is coming. Okay. By the way, what version do I have? What the fuck? I'm 3.14, but it actually worked. Okay. So now, I think. Okay. So we're just gonna work with 3.14 for now. I think this thing didn't work. I have to just quickly go and stop this. Oh, I think now it's good. Okay, cool. Now it works. And I just add FastAPI. Awesome. Okay, so we have FastAPI now, and so how do you do that? I'm sorry for that. Sorry for that. Okay. And I think you have to say fast API. And then how do you do that? So how do you do that? How do you do that? How do you do that? You have to say standard. So there are some sort of plugins, I suppose. And how do you start this? You just say fast API type. Okay. Okay. So let's delete all the stuff for now. App.start, I'm guessing, or it's gonna be run. One of the things that is not working here is my LSP. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, we can work without auto completion. So I just say this. There. Okay. Span. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. So maybe run. Okay. How do you run? Oh, you don't have to. You just define. Okay. Okay. You just define the routes. So app. I believe you can say route. Is it that or? I have to say get. Is it that? Facing get hello. Hello. Now it works. What's the code? 8,000. Okay. Why is it still saying not found? What did I do wrong here? FastAPI import. FastAPI, you initiate the FastAPI app state, I guess. And this is when you say async def route, blah blah blah. This thing, yeah. So this is the route, which means I'm doing the route. So if I just say docs, I think it's called docs. Yeah. What? Dude, what is happening? This executed correctly. But if I say hello, it says not found. Anybody knows what is this? What if I return back? Hello, whatever. Okay, it has a watcher. Nice. Good. Am I going crazy? Oh my fucking goodness. Okay. Now it works. Also, it should work with just a text thing. Yeah. Good. we at least have a basic setup where we can write an API. So I suppose let's think in terms of how we're going to do this. So we need one thing, which is initiate login. This is going to come from the UI. The UI is going to call this. This here should create a state, and so let's just call it a state for now, and send it to the Google Authorization API. Okay. Once you have this, I want to send it back to the redirect back to Backend, which makes another call to Frontend. Sorry, Frontend to the Google server to get change code for a quick, and then send the response back to UI saying saying suppose that's it. That's how we're gonna do that. I'm supposing. So let's see. App.get. We can call it a post call actually. Let's do a get because you have to cross and all that. So auth Google we can just say login. Okay. So def login. In here we have to, where is this documentation? We have to create this. We have to create this. Google Auth URL is this. You also need a response type and client ID. You also need the scope. $20, if I'm not wrong, is it recorded? I don't know what is recorded. Hey Sagar, welcome to the stream. And then you have a redirect URL. I guess this is what you always have to give. So let's see how we are doing it in Unity. So yeah, so you generate the state once. Redirect URL is this, which is coming from registration properties. This thing, and you have code and registration properties scope. So I suppose we have to go to sorry. I suppose we have to go to application F. This is a redirect URL. This is registration. Hmm. Also should have the client properties, which is here. Oh, this is the client properties in tab. So in application YAML, yeah, this is it. Hmm. So the redirect URL is that, I suppose. Is this client registration? So this is gonna be the redirect URL. API out to callback, okay. Then you have to have a state, which we already saw how to generate. Then you have a login hint, which we don't want. So let's remove that. And I don't know what this is for. HD. HD is for. The domain associated with Google Workspace, provided only the user belongs to a Google. Okay, so we don't have that. Hmm. So we don't need this. We just gonna use that. Okay. So we're just gonna use that, I suppose. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That, I suppose, is pretty much it. We have to generate a token in here. And we have to also put in a second. So do we have any app state? Recorded or live? It's live stream, so it's obviously live. How is it recorded? How am I answering to your questions if it's recorded? Someone messaged it before. Oh, Sagar was asking if it. Oh, yeah, bro, it's a recorded video where I exactly know that you're gonna say hi, and I said hi back to you. I recorded that. I'm kidding. It's a live stream. It's not recorded. There's an even better. There's an even better answer. This is a recorded video, but I'm running a studio, so it's like, broadcast. I'm live editing this thing quickly to say hi to you guys and streaming it. How about that, man? I wish I had a studio. I wish I had that so much of money to afford a studio. Then I would just take the money and not buy the studio and not do anything. The question here is, how do you do the production level WW? Yeah, session is what stores the object in memory, keep track of any change in the data, then it uses the engine to communicate with the database. What engine you're talking about? We will create a FastAPI dependency, okay? So let's see what exactly is this. Session is what stored, blah, blah, blah. We'll create a FastAPI dependency with the that you provides a new session for each request. This is what ensures that we use a single session per request. I like that. Then we create an annotated dependency session tab to simplify the rest of the code that will use the dependency. So you try to get the session with the engine, whatever that engine is, as session, and you yield the session, okay? and you say get session. So every time you try and inject this get session, it will just automatically inject. Create database tables on startup. Maybe this is good for migration, but not right now. And there's a constant watery eye that I have got. It's very irritating. It's coming from SQL model, not from FastAPI. We're talking about HTTP session. You want to define dependencies that should be compatible. The lead software engineer, Capital One in the US, earns an average total compensation of approximately $220,000 per year. That's very less, man. I'm getting $500,000. Very less. Who gave you this stat? I'm not in US, buddy. I wish I was getting that money in India. Just imagine. दो करोड़ भाई मैं सब छोड़ देता क्या live stream sorry. I would have played games all day. Yeah, I still have to work. I mean, they're not going to give me the 2 crore for free, but yeah. Last FastAPI request HTTP connection. Okay. This documentation sucks, or I just suck at reading docs. And that's the worst thing about AI, right? I would just feed the documents to AI and say that, hey, tell me what exactly to do. It's so fucking sad that I have to now scrape through and somehow figure out how to read the docs, which I feel is a very important skill to read. And not just go through pages and pages, just figure out exactly where the information is. I think it's a very, very useful skill. Okay, anyways, what we can do for now is just simply not validate the state. You can afford Studio with that money. That's true, but then you have to get that money and do the job. You cannot just run the Studio all day. So you get it once, you would afford the Studio, and then what? Life is not simple. Just looking at numbers on paper is not that simple, buddy. What you really want is a generational wealth, not money wealth, not job wealth. Right? Generational wealth is actual wealth. Okay, so what I want is Python MD5 random generator. Random hash. Okay, so how can I do it? A 16-byte token produces a 6. Okay, but this thing, I think this is good because it's always going to be 128 in size. So I think it's good. So let's quickly test that out also. So hashlib. There's also something called secrets. What is secrets for? Generate random 16 bytes. Okay. So you create the random message and then you create a hash out. Makes absolute sense. Import secrets. So secrets, we quickly want to look at help. Okay. So you can have seed and all that and bunch of stuff in here. If you were a 23-year-old college graduate unplaced, what advice would you give me? Kind of depends on which college you are in. Kind of depends on why you're unplaced. If you had fun for all 4 years and then you're unplaced, I would say that's fine. There are people who didn't have fun and they missed out a lot of things in life, so you can ignore that. But the real question is now what you're going to do. So I would say you first pick out the kind of job that you're going to target. I understand saying it is easy. The job market is really not that great. But I would say try. First figure out. So nowadays, I think the information flow and the easiness to get information is not open. You can have a lot of information within seconds, right? So try and get that information of what kind of job you're targeting, what's the profile. Definitely AI is a big thing now, and then accordingly you start studying towards that direction. One of the things that you can do is, it doesn't really have to be paid version. You can use Claude. I don't know if it has unpaid version, I'm not sure, but Gemini has, so it gives you answer without money. ChatGPT does, so you give it a lot of details and then you can ask it for a roadmap for the next 6 months on how to, try and get a job. The reason why I'm saying 6 months is, if you target 6 months, it's going to take a year, right? So if your actual plan is to try and get in 6 months, I would say 3 months. You try to get a roadmap in 3 months, right? So that's one thing. The second can be you are unplaced because of how the job market is. So you have already studied, you have already put in effort, you already know what to do. In that particular case, I would say, yes, it's sad right now how the market is because of AI and a lot of disruptions, but don't lose hope. You keep doing what you're doing, and most importantly, you need to increase your skill. That's what I think. As an example, if you're a web dev, I would say try and get into a little bit, you're a web dev, right? So one of the things which can help is trying to understand how a product manager works and trying to get into UX also. The reason behind that is, nowadays people will pay you money not for a skill, but for a multiple skills that you have, so that you can actually use those skills to work with AI agents, right? So if I just say I'm a web dev, it kind of takes away the scope of different other things, right? So you can be the master of one or two, but you should have multiple different skills. So that would be my advice to you. Message retracted. Okay. Cool. Choices. Oh, you can generate a bunch of things. Thanks a lot, bye, for your words on time. No problem. Not at all. Can you suggest some kind of project for fintech jobs in AI agents field? Sorry, bro. No idea. How are you gonna get access to? I mean, I cannot even comprehend of getting access to something which is used in fintech and then you try to create AI agent on top of it. You just do your own research. What is there? What is out there? If there's any open source APIs to work with, open source libraries to work with, and you then try to put together a bunch of things. Because yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not the right person to answer. Again, just ChatGPT, man. All of your questions can be answered by ChatGPT, and better than what I can answer, to be honest. Just 1 second. I mean, you said you're in college, right? Akash Yadav, I think you mentioned you're in college, right? I think you mentioned in college. I don't remember which. I'm a fresher. Oh, sorry, you're a fresher in LTM. Okay. What is LTM? I'm a fresher in LTM. Mindful. I am. Any schedule for you getting that? No, I kind of now lost the schedule because of job. So yeah, I am a fresher. I just asked a question, by the way, huh? I'm just trying to show you how to do that. And you can also good instinct, but AI agents for fintech is too vague to stand out. Exactly my point, and it's exact. Man, am I ChatGPT? Fuck you. But yeah, my point here is that you should understand how to work with agents, but you cannot really work with any AI agents within fintech because you're not a bank. How you gonna get access to anything? I tried to get access to one of the bank APIs, ICICI specific, to do something, and I registered on the website. I was thinking, okay, like they'll call me back and all that. When they realized I'm a solo guy just trying to do something for my pastime, which might or might not have potential, they said, yeah, I'll call you back in 5 minutes, and they never called me back. And this is 5-6 years ago. No, not 3-4 years ago, I think. So they don't care. They don't care unless you have a lot of money and you are an organization with a lot of money. If you're an individual just trying to do something, a very open source project or very study project, this is not the field. But I'm not saying that you cannot do it. Yeah, resume with the project. It first said what is the problem and then also told you what different kind of projects you can work with. People plus startup don't track wasteful spending and subscriptions. Maybe that's a good project. So you have to figure out how to read bank cards. So you have to get access to the email, try and get email parsing, try and get access to the statement. Every company statement is different in format, so you have to like create different kind of parsers and figure out categorization also with LLM. I mean, it's just a very simple classification, but I guess that's also a probabilistic answer, right? So I guess LLM can give you a better one. That's why, because it's already trained. Duplicate subscriptions. Maybe you can say that, okay, for a given household, for 3 people who is a family, you, your wife, your father, your mother, whatever, X number. Yeah, I also wanted to use API to track people's expenses. Yeah, it's not there. It's just not there. You literally have to have 10 lakhs in your account to be a account aggregator. I think that's what it's called, FSU, I think, or FSI, something like that. To go to an account aggregator and say, hey, I need to access the API to different other banks using a phone number. Right? So it's not that easy to get financial information, and that is valid. If I get hold of your financial information, of how much you earn, how much you spend, what kind of money you're holding, there can be 2 things. I can do targeted ads to you very much, which is a very dangerous thing if I'm an individual, because I will not have any regulations. I can sell your data to someone. The second thing is I can be a complete scammer and know exactly how much money you have and then try and scam that money out of you. So this is PII data. Well, not PII data, but sensitive data, my bad, sorry. And I guess bank APIs would also have to give you access to some PII data of your name, number, things like that, which needs regulations. So that's why only valid regulated organizations with licenses will be having access to those, right? Otherwise, to fir koi kuch bhi kar lega. If I have access to your bank account, I know what you're gonna do, what you're not gonna do. Fir to ho gaya. But people's expense, what you're gonna do is, you can say, okay, I'm creating something. I don't have the money to become that organization, but I can ask. So change, like, just do not digress and say that, oh, it's a blocker. No, change the mindset and say, for phase 1, MVP 0, MVP 1, I am saying that people are gonna have to export the 1 month of expense, not expense, like transactions, and upload it to my system, right? And I'm just gonna do an analysis on the PDF. Why not? If you just think because you don't have access to the API, it's a dead end, it's not that. To get projects done, you can do it. Personal investment Copilot. Yeah, and this again, retail investors don't know why to buy, when to buy, and things like that. Yeah, so this again is a very, very dangerous thing, because you are essentially becoming a advisor. You're creating an advisor agent. This is a very gray field, because you're not supposed to advise on investments to anyone unless you're SEBI registered advisor. So SEBI is someone who regulates the investment side, and RBI is someone who regulates on the bank side. So I just cannot create and publish it as a product and tell people that use it. Somehow get hold of 100 users, tell my recruiter that I created that. It's a problem. It's a problem. Making an HR project for last 1 year script privilege. Means with one click I scrape 1 million profiles, but now I came to know that can be legal if I build it. Yeah, exactly. So these kind of things are not easy, and I try to keep away from it. So a lot of people can tell me that, hey, what's gonna happen? Nothing's gonna happen. In India, the legal system is maybe not that strong and everything. But the important point is that I'm not a millionaire. If I had 50 crore in my bank account and if I was sued for a crore, I wouldn't give a fuck about it, right? But if you have a crore in your bank account and you're sued for a crore, if you're sued for even 10 lakhs after getting 1 crore of 10 years, 20 years of job, you saved 1 crore, right? And someone sues you for 10 lakh, you're just gonna be crying the shit out. So why try to, what my suggestion would be to not try anything evenly remotely possible illegal, because it's not also about the money, it's that someone can harass you. Big organizations will have the money to go over to court every single day. You won't. That shows how precious is your data. Exactly. So you shouldn't take a risk where you might end up in that a situation. Is why I think that, okay, because I had a couple of ideas but I never really explored, because I realized, okay, this particular thing, if I have to get access, I need a lot of money and licenses. So that money is not that I'm gonna give to a government official, right? It's not that. The money is for getting licenses. So do not think that, oh, it's just like give money away. No. It's for licenses. That you are gonna comply with all the regulations which RBI said. How to store your data, how to store this, how to store that. Your data has to be encrypted in transit or blah, blah, blah. A couple of different things, right? And if you don't do it, like you can say that, okay, I'm not going to get a license for now, but I'm just going to do it for now. And later on, I can think of it if it actually becomes a valuable product. But then there can be a lot of issues. Can be. I'm not saying there will be. 99% of the time there won't be. But I mean, I just think, what if I'm the 1%, right? Yeah, but yeah, completely up to how people take it. Oh, you have tokens. Okay, token types. So this basically generates that. So we kind of digressed a completely lot from the project. And it's already 10:30 and I'm kind of tired talking. We did nothing today, by the way. We did nothing today. We just blah, 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 blah. And we just created a Docker file. I mean, that's our progress. Oh man, this is everyday stream. Just don't progress on stream. Fuck. Okay. Cool. Whenever next I come online, hopefully sometime on Saturday or Friday. Not Saturday and Friday, maybe next Sunday. Maybe every week Sunday I can come online, and that's gonna be a little less hectic. Maybe. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and not digress and actually build this. I have a habit of throwing away projects and not building it. So how many hours you work on it? It depends. Completely depends how many hours you work. Yeah. In India there is nothing like that. Completely depends on if the work is done, it's done. Start super chat too. I don't want to do it. I think for that you need some kind of like you need 500 subs or 1000 subs or something like that. I don't know. And second of all, I mean, I'm not doing this for money. So if I'm gonna earn money from this, the only thing I can do here is that I can put up recorded videos and turn on ads. It doesn't make sense that, oh, I'm too egoistic to. I mean, there are not 100 people in the chat where chats are going so fast that you want to highlight your chat. So it doesn't make sense to enable super chat. So that's why I don't want to. even at senior positions. I don't know why you think seniors don't work. We do. After referral is no problem. I don't know if you're on my LinkedIn or not. If you're there, then I usually I refer folks. I know some people say that I cannot refer you because I don't know you and all that. I refer because of two reasons. So we have completely gone from coding to chatting. Huh? Yeah. Okay. I thought you guys just plan and manage. No, that's not it. So I plan and manage. I don't manage folks. I don't want to be a people manager. So right now I'm working in a lead position. So for the past 3-4 years, I've been working in lead positions. And I personally feel a lead position is more about how big of a problem you can solve. It's not about just planning and managing. That is not it. Yeah, I mean, I would try to plan and manage a couple of juniors to solve the problem with me. But it's not just that, oh, I tell them what to do. You have to do it with them. Of course. That's what an engineer does. So referral, right? So I don't say that, oh, I don't know you or this, that, because honestly speaking, I think in a very different mindset. The one job can change not just the guy's life, maybe even the family's condition, right? So you don't know, because if I don't know a person, if they ping me for a referral, I always think that why not? Like, someone is working for passion, someone is working for money, someone is working for something, right? So I don't have any problem referring anyone. Only thing I don't do or I don't respond is if you just ping me, hey, you're in Capital One, can you refer me? No. I mean, do the minimum thing of you researching the job and the opening according to your profile, and you send it and I'll do it. I'll ask you for a couple of details of what I need and I would do it. And in the referral, I straight away write that, yeah, I have connection with this guy over LinkedIn, I have connection over this guy over Facebook or whatever, and I have seen his profile and it fits. I don't also say that, oh, I know him personally or that. So I always write the truth, but I don't respond to people who say that, refer me, this is my resume. If you don't have the capability to go through or the time to go through openings of a company, understand what are the different opportunities you like, and then send it to someone, if you're not putting in the effort, why should the other person, right? So that's wrong. Because I've got a couple of messages. I remember in LinkedIn, I said that, okay, you can reach out to me. I can try and get you referred in Capital One and Visa, which was my previous org. And then people just send that message, this is my resume, refer. And I didn't respond back, and 1 or 2 juniors actually did send abuse. I didn't respond back. I'm like, dude, I'm a 16-year-old programmer. God level, bro. God level, 16-year-old programming. What are you doing, bro? Play some games. Play some games at 16 years old, which means you're in which class? In which class? 11. I'm pretty sure you're somewhere in 10, 11, right? Of GitHub. What? You're working with GitHub? Or you programming? I don't know what it is. Yeah, anyways, that's it. So today we didn't make any progress, to be honest, but next time I come online, I'm gonna try and not. How am I gonna review your GitHub? Sorry, bro, I cannot do that. Yeah, so next time I come online, I'm gonna try and. I mean, I'm not gonna review your GitHub, but I'm just gonna open it right away. Can I type? I'm on Linux and coding, so I just keep learning and thinking this stuff. Tech stack we have worked out is Linux. What tech stack is that? Oh, I have a pretty decent This thing for a 16-year-old. Instant file sharing from cloud over LAN. What are you using? Send file or something? No. Oh, okay. It's in Go. My bad. I I thought it's. What is root.pro, buddy? Are you public network link feature? You can send it from your LAN. I mean, that's fine, but I think you would need some sort of an authentication on it. Arch Linux with I. Yeah, I want to look at the internal, I guess. Maybe you can increase the volume a little bit since we're not coding anymore. Hi, Medachala. Yeah, man, thank you for dropping by. That was Zip. Creating a file server, okay? Nice, good project, I think. I mean, just scraping through it, I feel it's a good project. I'm pretty sure you got a lot of. Any tips? I cannot give any tips, I'm sorry. I don't think so there's any tips in like how to manage a GitHub profile. What is this? It's a dynamic macro style dynamic island kind of bar config. What is a dynamic island config thing? Can you quickly do mine also? I roast it like this. Why would I roast it? What is that to roast? An automated script based on Python. So then it searches your GitHub for your keywords, captures link and all. Yeah, I don't have a review. I just looked at your. Give me your handle. From a coding stream, we have gone to a. It's pretty sad, right? But yeah, give me a handle, buddy. For Mavion edits, I'm just gonna call you Meet Sony. Yeah. I mean, for a 16-year-old, I think you have a decent. I won't say profile, GitHub profile, because it doesn't matter what kind of profile you have. I think you have a decent interest. So you're tinkering with Arch, you're tinkering with NVim and Linux. Emacs is fine. That's not a big deal. Even I am working with that, but it doesn't make me a good coder, right? So tools doesn't make you a good coder. The tools doesn't make you a good coder. What actually makes you a good coder is you have good ideas and you can actually deliver good software which lasts long, right? You understand you understand the implications of trade-offs of software and all that. So, but yeah, if you're started at 16 and you already know how to work with Go, you have a good idea of WinDrop, right? It seems like a good idea. I don't know how, like, what is the code quality and all that. That's beside the points. I have not looked into that. But yeah, I mean, just keep it up. The more you write code, the more you get better. That's all. The more you write, the more you get better. That's all. It's just like game. The more I play, the more I'll get better, hopefully. I never got better with CSGO, but yeah. Better than the first time I played. So, I guess. Okay. But yeah, if anybody's on the chat putting in this thing, I'm not gonna do a review. I don't do that, sorry. I'm just gonna do a review of this guy. He has been there from the. What is happening? Why is it encoding? What the fuck is happening? I don't know. Did you put in some escape? Which Linux you use? Ubuntu. Buddy, I don't know. I cannot find you. I cannot find you. I use Ubuntu. That's all. I swear to God, if this guy is trying to inject some weird escape codes in my... No, I'm kidding. Okay, that worked. Mask पहन के photo डाला है. Oh. There's this movie, right, with the wife, with the घूंघट and वो हर जगह लेके जाता है. This is my wife. वैसे आया. Software developer learning things. Nice. AI interviewer. That's a very interesting idea. That's a very interesting idea. Dude. You ask for a roast, you're gonna get it. There is a Arch Linux user, by the way, on the chat right there. So just for you, buddy, look at this. Look at this other guy. Learn Linux with JavaScript. Oh. Can you tell me any project ideas which develop real skills, not just AI stuff? Any project idea is good as long as you can build something. Doesn't have to be that. What is this? Started. Anyways, it feels like you have a lot of studying projects in here. I would say you should start creating your own projects. Maybe that's one of the things you have to work with. You were asking me. Just create projects, not code submissions and all that. This is not going to help you. I mean, I don't know if people are actually looking at GitHub profiles and trying to figure out. In my opinion, if anybody is looking at GitHub profile, they might look at this thing. So you can pin. And everybody has all of these things. Yeah. In general, I would say build some projects. You have backend YT. I guess these are notes. AI powered video generator. Oh, my bad. Sorry. Put a description right there, right? So it just becomes a little bit useful. Let's look at good. Awesome. The guy hasn't pushed codes. If you're here for the free codes, sorry, we are not getting it. Keys, sorry, not codes. What is this? Alternate text? Yeah. So web application that helps you extract content from notes. Okay, that seems like an interesting idea actually. That seems like an interesting idea. Find relevant information across your saved video notes. Okay. Next is back to. Sorry. Vector DB find known AI models is 4 many. Embeddings API authentication is. Yeah. So this is what I was saying. Do you support vibe coding? I don't support vibe coding. I support AI coding. I tell it exactly what to do and it does that. I don't be like, okay, do it, and it does. I exactly tell it what to do and how to do it. And sometimes I would quickly say, do it in 3 different ways that I'm thinking right now, and I will see which is the better way. And then I would ask it to also. You have to start thinking in terms of pair programming. That's all. You don't have to start thinking in terms of, oh, AI is slop. No, AI is not slop. AI is slop because the entirety of GitHub, which it has been trained on, has slop code, which is humans, I feel, right? So you have to start thinking in terms of a pair programmer and stop fighting it. No, it's slop. No, it's not. It generates a lot of slop, I would say. And one of the things, like I said, I went to HTTP. The reason why I stopped the streaming is because I kind of got tired looking at docs because for the last 2 years I have stopped looking at docs. One of the things I would do is, there's this repository, there's docs right here, and this is awesome. I would just clone this entire repository, and what I would do is say AI to first analyze, and because it might not be able to access it. So analyze the entire code base, analyze the entire documentation. Don't you think it is destroying the real programmer brain? Like in the past, we had legendary programmers. Terry Davis was a different kind of guy. By the way, just to okay, I come back to that. It's already, I'm just gonna be there for 10 more minutes, that's all. But yeah, coming back to Akash Yadav, yeah, coming back to you, what I feel is this is the repository, right? Man, how, okay, it's taking something as a I am HO. Anyways, my point would be that you should backend YT, right? Put in some descriptions, it becomes a lot more easier to understand. I thought it's just some kind of a video downloader or something, but yeah, it seems like an interesting project, so it's good. Coming to the point of Linus and Terry Davis, I feel, is a very different league of guy. Linus Torvalds is also a very different league of guy, but let's talk about this. First ever, since when did AI research start? Look at this, buddy. AI research officially began in the mid-1950s with seminal Dartmouth Summer, blah, 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 a lot of stuff. Alan Turing published Computing Machinery and Intelligence, introducing the Turing test. The term artificial intelligence was coined and formed at this thing, blah, 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 in 1955 to 56. So it's not something new. It's not something new. So what you have to understand is that this technology it has come to a state where it's more usable by general users like us and not very specific users. So I have a machine learning engineer with me. He's quite senior, and he has been working with machine learning algorithms and models. He has been training models even before we knew the name of OpenAI, or like 5-6 years before 2020, or not 5-6 years, yeah, maybe 5 years before 2022. So maybe 2017-18 he started working on that. He's a data scientist and everything, data engineer, whatever you want to call it. So it's not something new. It's not something new, right? So the real programmer's brain is getting destroyed. Most people other don't know how to write a Python script. Well, that is a different kind of an argument, I feel. Proving proposed every machine spinning for this to accelerate. Yeah. So that's a different kind of argument. Don't know how to write a Python script, they call themselves a programmer. I mean, what are you gonna do? You're gonna fight with them? That's fine, let them call a programmer. What's the big deal? Yeah, they're a programmer. I'm also a programmer. So, what tech stack are you using? So primary bread and butter has been Java since 2015 when I started my first job. But yeah, over time, it has changed. So I have worked with Java, I have worked with Kotlin, I have worked with, currently I'm working with Python. I've worked with UI like React. Angular I have worked way back for 6 months. UI is something which I still go with full stack, but I honestly say UI is something which is like, yeah, it's not my cup of tea. Thanks to AI, now I can at least get designs done. The best intelligence is the human intelligence. It depends. Every human has different intelligent IQ or intelligent question, right? Everyone has a different one. So what's the best? Is a 10 IQ also best? I don't think so. Well, that is also not a correct thing to say, I guess. Anyways, whatever. Turing proposed, yeah, it reduces problem solving skills. Yeah. So again, what you have to understand is as soon as you start using it as a tool, it means it needs very good directions on what to do. And it doesn't take decisions on its own on how to do it. You exactly tell it how to do it. If you're not doing that, you have stopped thinking. Right? You have stopped thinking. That's the problem. But I also have to take one thing into consideration. If you're talking in terms of programmers, like you mentioned, that they call themselves programmers, you're talking about people who are working. They are all programmers in IT, correct? So let's get this up. You're talking about them, right? Specific. Yes or no? I mean, that's the higher demographics, right? People who are working, everybody call themselves a programmer, and kind of uses AI to do a lot of things, and may not be the one to take the best decision. I'm telling you from past experience, to be honest, by coding multiple things, mastering them. Yeah, so that's wrong. That's wrong. So even I have a couple of streams where I say vibe coding and I just play some music and code. So I'm vibing and coding. I kind of tried to do a clickbait. But yeah, I really did. I thought that day I'm going to get 1 million subscribers, but I didn't. So sad. Anyways, coming back to the point, right? So here's what I think. So I'll give an example, and I don't know if that guy is watching me right now, because I think there are 8 people watching me. I don't know if you're watching me, buddy. You haven't spoken for the entire day. So I mean the entire stream. So I don't know if you're actually watching me or not. But I remember we having a conversation. So this is an ex-colleague in one of my companies, and we were having a discussion where in one of the interviews, he went ahead. So he was a UI guy, and generally for a UI guy, you would ask for very normal React questions. He went ahead and started asking questions like rendering logics, rendering strategies. So the browser can have different kind of rendering algorithms, can have different kind of optimization algorithms, things like that. And he tried to ask those. And his point was like, as a UI dev, you should be passionate about it, and you know that. What you have to understand is not everybody is in the field for passion. It's also a job. Right. It's also a job, right? I'll take an example of a job, plumbing. That's what comes to my mind. If you look at all the people who is working in plumbing right now, let's just say in your region, in your location, how many of them are actually like, they came up and like, okay, plumbing is my passion? No, right? You have to feed your family, you have to earn money, things like that. So a lot of people are working in that, right? So being passionate and having a job are two different things. So if you're really looking at passionate people who would not work with AI slop, would either handwrite code or would know exactly how to get out of AI what it wants, would be people who are really experienced and passionate about software. But not everybody is, and that's fair. That's absolutely fair. If you want to get that culture, you have to go into the hacker group, the hacker culture, where they care about the quality of code. Right? So that's what I feel. So, but I also completely understand your fact that AI is taking away a lot of intelligence, and it's making you lazy. So now I've realized that I do. What was the question? What question? There was no question. I'm just talking to Maven Dix. That's all. Just trying to answer a bit of questions. What he has. That's all. Anyways, yeah, so it's already 11 and I'm gonna go offline today. It's already 11 tomorrow. We have office in the morning. Some might have school. What was the interview question? Interview question was rendering logic, rendering strategies, right? So a browser can have different kind of rendering strategies. Uh, Frameworks can have different kind of rendering strategies. So rendering can go at different levels, right? So that is what we asked. And he was correct. As a UI dev, you should know it, which means you can optimize your code according to that. But not everybody would know it. So we cannot expect people to know it. So just for a job, all I need to know is, do you know the basics? This is what I kind of try to, answer when I ask a question. I try to gauge if the person in front of me, will you be able to work with me? Will I be able to delegate some kind of work to you? And you would do a decent enough job. If you do a great job, it's awesome. I mean, I would be really impressed. But can you do a decent enough job to keep the ship afloat and, you can take away some of my responsibilities so that I can do something else and you kind of help me. Otherwise, what happens if you're a single person in the team, right? You have to do everything. If you have a second person, then you divide your responsibilities. So, will I be able to trust you to take that responsibility and actually deliver? That's I think all I see. Previously, I also used to think a long time back. I used to think, oh, why can't he solve a hard question from lead code? Everybody should be able to solve graphs. No. How many graph problems have you actually faced in a real life application? Do you stream daily? I don't stream daily. I used to stream daily, but yeah, I don't stream daily now. I'm still trying to think how to make a video building projects guiding. Yeah, it's not possible. Office है भाई. It's not possible. Office है, family है, काम करना होता है, बहुत कुछ है. So every day might not be possible. Maybe Sundays I'll stream. For a very long time, I have been trying to create not static videos, recorded videos, not static videos, right? Someone was asking me whether this video is recorded or not. So, but yeah, I never really came up to the. Somehow I always delay. I record and then I'm like, yes, I know why. Also, because I use Linux, getting the audio and video quality as good as on Windows, if you're using NVIDIA Broadcast, is not possible because NVIDIA Broadcast has AI integrated, so it does a really great job. And I promised myself one thing, that no matter what, I'm always going to use Linux for my work and I'm going to use Windows for gaming. So that is also one of the things which I have been delaying on. Are you a software engineer? Yes, I guess I'm a software engineer. I hope so. Yeah, but I work as a software engineer. Yes. Chalo guys, okay. Thank you so much for dropping. You leave software engineer. Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much for dropping. It was all talk today. Next Sunday when I come online, and I'll try to do in the afternoon, so evening I have some family time. So once I come online, I'm gonna not talk much, but I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do some little bit research beforehand so that I don't have to scrape around. But yeah, have you tried Code Forces? No, Code Forces is shit for me. I'm not into competitive programming, and I never wrote in my 11 years. I never wrote a program in production where I had to take an input from CLI in a weird ass format and then parse it. Right? I mean, I have written CLI commands, but command line tools, but yeah. Also, any platform, nothing about Code Forces. I know the level of programs I cannot do, the level of problems I cannot solve even a single one. I know that, but I never really grind it because I absolutely hate the fact that your answers are a diff on standard out. Have a fucking testing framework, buddy. Have that. Okay. So that's what my thought was about Code Forces. LeetCode has a testing framework. I use it. NeetCode is just a scrape off of this thing, so I use it. But Code Forces, I never used it because I didn't quite like that interaction. Anyways, thank you so much for joining. If you like the stream, hit a like, hit a subscription, subscribe. And next Sunday, come on online. Okay, thank you. And you guys have a good week forward. Bye-bye.